We've been working on 5G private networks to expand the reach of 5G to new markets such as warehouses, transportation logistics centers, and large enterprises.
Private mobile networks, of course, just by their nature, offer an interference-free spectrum to operate in, such as CBRS in the United States. Compared to Wi-Fi, it provides an express lane of communication for that critical infrastructure to give peace of mind to those IT audiences.
Private 5G networks need to be extremely simple to operate. Unlike telcos, enterprises are not in the business of running networks. So the management has to be extremely simple. In fact, you could argue zero touch.
Today's wireless networks are really limited by the amount of available spectrum. We have 2.4 gigahertz, we have 5 gigahertz. What we're looking at is this adoption of a new standard, and that's Wi-Fi 6E. Wi-Fi 6E extends Wi-Fi into the 6 gigahertz spectrum, and it allows for more capacity. In the US, it's 1200 megahertz more capacity. Wi-Fi 6E is rolling out globally, and there's been a ton of momentum.
What we're going to do is we're going to start developing a co-integrated network where all of those technologies are used together, and then you're creating overlays and underlay networks that allow them to really just work together to be able to say, okay, I'm not going to have my security cameras be impacted by my Wi-Fi download or my heavy downloads.
Private network. How are we going to do it? What are we going to build? How is it built? Well, there are certain options and ways of doing this depending on what you want to do. You could contract the whole thing out to telco. You could contract out, we want a private 5G in our building, bada bing, bada boom, they set it up. Or you could say, we're going to take care of the RAN, we would like to contract the core to you. So that way you have an interconnect where you have your own RAN section with the O-RAN that's open today. You connect to the core and there you go. Now you have the core connection between them and you're using your own RAN. Or you could do the whole thing yourself. You could build your core, you could build your radio access network, you could do all that yourself depending on the needs, the privacy needs, the locations, how much money you want to spend. But basically we have different options of how to set up the private 5G or 4G network.
If hyperscalers get into this, they make their own boxes, right? They might use an ODM for it, but at the end they spec it, they kind of do everything themselves. Commercially, they engage directly with the chip company. The box maker themselves, I see more and more being non-traditional than the traditional cellular equipment maker. So meaning you're going to see all kinds of existing box makers and future ones come into this space. And I think that's, given the nature of 5G, it just makes sense. It's just a new set of markets here.